Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer and get in-show credit on every episode. Hi everybody, and welcome to the Season 6 finale of Off the Cuff. Yeah, we've come to the finale already, and I gotta tell you, this has been such a fun year for me. When I first started, I wanted to challenge myself. It started this year. I wanted to get recipes that I was kind of afraid of. I wanted to see if I could make them, first of all, and make them low carb, secondly, and delicious. And I think I did rather well. I really did. Let's look back. First off, I made sushi. Oh, I could not believe how good that came out, especially with the sticky cauliflower rice. Really good. Ratatouille. Oh yeah, that's where it kind of challenged me on presentation, but I think that came out pretty good. Spare ribs, yabba dabba good. I made Pop-Tarts. Oh yeah, I made homemade raspberry Pop-Tarts. Oh, enchiladas. I never thought I could make that, but I did. I made my homemade tortillas and everything. Gyros. Oh, I loved making the gyro, one of my favorites, and I've made it since. I really love that recipe. My mom's chicken soup. That was really a heartfelt episode, and I loved making that. Yeah, I still have some in the freezer. I'm going through it. It's great. And of course, on Valentine's Day, I made chocolate souffle. That's pretty good. So the bar was really, really high this year, and I'm not stopping now. When figuring out a food for the finale, I wanted to get something that was, well, first of all, something I absolutely loved, something I never dreamed I could make at home, and something low carb. I mean, really. And I made Chinese and Italian and Greek and Mexican. Why not make something really exotic? Indian food, yep. Today's episode, as you already know, I'm making low carb chicken korma and low carb naan, the flatbread. This is really exciting. Every time I go to an Indian restaurant, I always order the chicken korma. I always do. I always enjoy the naan, the bread. And I mean, I really love it. And I don't want to be disappointed. I researched for a recipe. I found one, and I'm gonna make it today. And you know what? I can't wait. You ready to make this recipe? Okay, let the finale begin. Okay, that slide is a little unnerving. Anyway, this episode is fully going to demonstrate why I call my show Off the Cuff, because I have never made Indian food before, not in any way, shape, or form. In this episode, I'll be making the Indian food for the very first time. So it's really going to be off the cuff. Oh. Forgot to turn this off. Let me just see. Oh, okay. Hello?
Hey, Greg.
Oh, Jeff, it's my producer, Jeff. What up, dog?
I just called to warn you.
Warn me about what?
Manningham is planning a surprise visit.
Who?
Manningham? Mr. Manningham, the head of the network? He's planning a surprise visit to Off the Cuff today.
Jeff, I appreciate it, but you know what? I'm not afraid of Mr. Manningham.
Mr. Mitchell!
Oh! Mr. Manningham, sorry, Your Highness, Your Majesty.
So, this is the Off the Cuff kitchen.
And?
I like it.
You do? That's a first.
Yeah, it's homey. It's lived in. Really lived in. Yeah, it's got the retro charm of 70s kitsch with the class of a used Winnebago.
And right back to reality, but I'll take it. So, to what do we owe this honor of this visit, Mr. Manningham?
Manny. I'm a big fan of the show.
You are? Mm-hmm. Oh, do you have a favorite episode?
Oh, I've never actually watched it, but I'm a big fan of what it represents.
What it represents?
Yeah, you're really out there, You're taking chances, making a difference. Out there.
Okay.
With the people.
Well, I try.
You're succeeding.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I just have one question for you.
Yeah.
What are you making today?
Chicken korma.
See? That's what I'm talking about. That's naturally funny and out there.
Yeah.
Like Harvey Korma.
Harvey Korma.
When he used to break when Tim Conway made him laugh on Carol Burnett.
Harvey Korma. Yeah.
How about that song? Korma Chameleon.
Culture Club.
Yeah. Hey, you know, in college, I actually drove around in a Volkswagen
Korma gear. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. The times we had in that car. Good times, good times. Ooh. Hey, what are you making with it?
Oh, naan.
That's all right. You can tell me. It's me, Manny.
No, I'm making naan.
All right, I get it. It's a secret, you know, surprise me.
No, Mr. Manningham.
Manny.
Manny. Naan is an Indian flatbread. I'm making low-carb chicken korma and low-carb naan.
Wow. I guess we'll have none of that. See what I did there? None of that. I can't help it. I'm just naturally wacky.
Naturally wacky, yeah.
Seriously, though, I'll literally have none of that. My personal chef, Jerome, handles all my dietary needs.
Okay.
Yeah. When he's not wearing a Batman suit.
You
know, but that's what I mean. You're out there taking risks and new and adventurous, bold choices.
Well, I that's what I kind of think Off the Cuff is all about.
Exactly. I'm glad we got to do this. Long overdue talk.
Me too.
Yeah. I just got one question for you.
Shoot.
What's a carb?
1 second. This is going to take a while. Here are the ingredients. All right. So when
You know, I'm just going to get my pad, so I'm going to write this down.
Okay.
So you just keep talking,
That's
I'll come right back.
That's the front door. Okay, it's time for the ingredients. First up, for the low-carb chicken korma. 1/4 cup almond butter, 3 cloves garlic, 1 1/2 inch piece of fresh ginger chopped, 2 1/2 tablespoons of butter or ghee, 1/2 medium onion minced, 1 teaspoon each of ground coriander, garam masala, ground cumin, ground turmeric, and chili powder, 2 chicken breasts diced, 1/3 cup of tomato sauce, 1/3 cup of chicken broth, 1/2 cup of coconut milk, and 1/2 cup of plain yogurt. And now for the low-carb naan. 1 cup of hot water, 1/4 cup plain yogurt, 3/4 of a cup of coconut flour, 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk powder, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon each of xanthan gum, baking powder, salt, and nigella seeds, and 1/4 cup parsley. Okay, before we begin, I realized that I didn't have anything to put the chicken korma on. Actually, the recipe I borrowed from said cauliflower rice, but guess what? I didn't buy cauliflower. I totally forgot. Brown rice, yes, in my rice maker. You know what? This is a low-carb dish, so I'm not going to count this as part of the carbs. I'm not. It's only for presentation. Look at me, getting all fancy. Come on, let's cook the korma. Okay, first we have to mince up our ginger and our garlic, and the way I wanted to do it is this. This is a coffee grinder, actually. So I'm putting the ginger and the garlic in here, like that. That goes in, and it sounds so cool. And there we go. All right, and last but not least, we're going to dice up our chicken. We do this last so we don't cross-contaminate the vegetables and everything else we're doing. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're working with raw chicken. You can cross-contaminate. You can cross-contaminate stuff, and I sound like Popeye. Cross-contaminate. Now you can cross-contaminate your food. That's not something you want to do. After I'm done with this, I'm going to wash the board, and I'm going to wash my hands very well. 1 piece left. Okay. All right. Our chicken is cubed. Now let's fire up the burner. Okay, in goes those onions I worked so hard on. Okay, the semi-minced onions are in, as I said. All right. Yeah, we've sauteed onions a lot on the show. The basics are you saute them for about 5 minutes until they get soft and translucent, a little bit transparent. And that's what we're going to do here. All right. Let's put in the ginger and the garlic. Okay. Oh yeah, just gotta mix that all in. There you go. Okay. And we're not gonna do this too long. Okay, just get it all mixed in all the way. Now we're gonna be putting in all our spices. Too many to mention. All right, but here go the spices. Blue. Okay, and we're gonna mix this in. Yes, it's dry, but don't worry. We're gonna put the wet stuff in soon. All right. Okay, that's in there. Now in goes the chicken. There you go. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. And now we're gonna do this for about 5 minutes. We're going to do it until the chicken gets nice and white and it starts to cook. It's a lot of chicken. This is going to make a big recipe. It really is. All right, now here goes the chicken broth and our tomato sauce. And now we're going to cook this for approximately 15 minutes or until it starts to bubble. We're gonna cover and we're gonna check back in 15 minutes. All right, now you can see we've added another device. It's been 15 minutes. Let's take a look at our, oh, look at that. That looks fantastic. So in goes the yogurt to a food processor. There it goes. The almond butter, which is sticky, but I got it. Here we go. And our coconut milk. I had this in the refrigerator. I think it got a little thick, but that's all right. Now let's make it nice and smooth. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth, I believe. Now we take this and we pour it in here. Now we're going to stir it in. Now we're going to get that korma-like color. Okay, now we're going to simmer this at low heat for 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 13 minutes. Oh, look at that. That looks fantastic. Oh yeah, this looks perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside and keep it warm while we make the naan. But first, it's time for food facts. The term korma comes from the Turkic word kavurma, which basically means meat which is braised or fried. Korma is meat which is braised in yogurt or in stock. Korma can range from mild to spicy to fiery, yeah. And it includes lamb, beef, goat, or as I'm making, chicken. Now, as for the flavor, that comes from a combination of spices, most commonly coriander and cumin. Truth is, korma is very similar in both its Persian and Turkish dishes, and its exact origin can really only be guessed at. However, there is some thought that a version of the dish actually existed in Muggle dishes of the 16th century. No, not Harry Potter Muggle. Yeah, that Muggle. That 16th century Muggle version probably came from experimentation by Rajput cooks in the royal kitchens of Emperor Akbar under the supervision of Mir Bakawal, who was the master of kitchens and one of Akbar's 9 gems. Included in those creations was white korma, which was rumored to have been served with vark, which is a thin layer of edible metal, usually gold or silver. Now, this was also rumored to have been served to Shah Jahan at the inauguration of the Taj Mahal. The Rajput cooks who created the dish named it korma in honor of the warrior Rajput Korma tribe. Even though korma is not mentioned among the 30 recipes in the A&E Akbari, it can be said that korma's cooking method and ingredients have basically stayed the same for nearly 500 years. There are 3 basic varieties of korma. In northern India, it's made with yogurt, almonds, cashews, and/or cream. In southern India, korma is made with a very strong coconut flavor. And in the Kashmiri version, it's actually made with fennel seed, turmeric, tamarind, and dried coxcomb flowers. In the UK, korma is usually served in curry houses. It's mildly spiced, it's in a thick sauce, and is usually served with almonds, cashews, or other nuts. Navratran korma is vegetarian and is made with paneer, that's an Indian cheese, or nuts. Navratran actually stands for 9 gems and harkens back to Emperor Akbar. There's Eid korma from parts of South Asia. Now, this is braised meat with little or no spices. Actually, a long time ago, this was a way to prepare meat to preserve it for a short period of time. In Malaysia, you'll find gulai korma. Now, this is actually prepared with coconut milk instead of yogurt and uses more vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and tomatoes. And now, here are the health benefits of korma. Yeah, well, korma is made mostly with yogurt. Yogurt is high in probiotics. Probiotics are great for gut health. Oh boy, you hear that, gut? You're gonna get healthy. Yeah, it's also high in protein, so it helps with cell repair and muscular health. Korma is also great for athletes. Yeah, well, the protein. It's great to help an athlete recover from muscular exhaustion or overuse. Now some facts about naan. Naan comes from the Persian nani sangak, which means bread baked on hot pebbles. I think my graphic guy drinks. Naan is a teardrop-shaped flatbread that's usually baked in a beehive-shaped clay oven. My 1990s electric oven is gonna have to do. Naan dates back to the 14th century, where poet Amir Khosrow actually documented 2 types of naan: the light or thin bread, or the naan baked in the tandoor oven. Naan is leavened with yeast, and is usually made with white or wheat flour. Since it was leavened and it was a lengthier process, originally naan was really reserved for the privileged or the royals. Okay, I'll give you a pass on that one. George Brett is royalty. In the 16th century, naan became more widely available, and in 1799, it got its first English definition, courtesy of historian and clergyman William Tooke. And now it's time for some fun facts about Indian cuisine in the United States. The first ever Indian restaurant in the United States was the Taj Mahal restaurant in New York City. It opened in 1921. Indian cuisine really got popular in the United States in the 1960s and the 1970s. That's when Indian immigrants came to the United States and started opening up restaurants and grocery stores. And finally, the most popular Indian dish in the United States is, drumroll please, thank you, chicken tikka masala. Awesome, yeah. Well, my favorite is chicken korma, and that's what I'm doing in the show today, because it's my show. Yeah. And that's Food Facts. All right, let's do this naan. First off, the oven is preheating at 355 degrees. Now we add our dry ingredients. The coconut powder, coconut flour. This is the psyllium husk powder. That's psyllium husk powder, not psyllium husk. The xanthan gum. And salt, about half of this. Let's give about half. Perfect. Now, make sure it's all mixed together. Yeah, we're gonna just keep doing this until it's one unified color, which it is. Our yogurt. This is the 1/4 cup of yogurt. Okay. 1 cup of warm water. I'm going to stir that up a little bit. There we are. And also 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or olive oil. I'm using olive oil. There we go. And now we just mix thoroughly. Okay. We're going to do this until it becomes a dough. And if you hear that little beep, the oven is to heat right now. You can put your hands in here and you can squish it together like this. This comes together very quickly, by the way. Now, as far as all that moisture and liquid, coconut flour is highly absorbent. It really soaks all it up. So does the psyllium husk too. So what we're going to do is make this into a dough ball, as smooth as we can, like this. It's going to go there. Okay, now let it sit for 5 minutes.
Wait, what?
Wait, before it sits, I forgot the baking powder. Oh, no wonder. Put it in. Now you just gotta mix it all in again. I hope that it's not too late to put it in, but I think it's gonna be okay. Now we're getting back to where we were before. All right. Okay, now let it rest for 5 minutes. This time for sure. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. I have some parchment paper out. Now, the directions want me to make 6 of these, so it wants me to cut this into 6. I'm actually going to cut it into 6, but I'm only going to use 2 or 3. Let's start with this. Make 2 of them. Put that aside. Make this into a ball. Now, of course, as you saw in Food Facts, naan is supposed to be teardropped. Well, I don't know if I can master that. With me, when I roll stuff out, it usually looks like a weird State of the Union. I'm not really good at things coming out right. Well, that's almost teardrop. Almost. Let's go a little more. It looks well. I wonder if I cry, if that counts. Let's see. All right, that's almost teardrop shaped. So here's our 2 pieces of naan. Now we're going to get the baking tray. So here's something fun. We're actually going to do it upside down. That's right, like this. On the parchment paper, like that. Okay, now I have some Nigella seeds. We're going to sprinkle that on here. Into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Now what I went ahead and did is I trimmed some of the parchment paper so there was no overlay. So. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. Oh yeah, okay. Trying to get out of here. Oh yeah. We have naan. And we have low carb chicken korma and low carb naan. This looks absolutely amazing. You saw the picture. Look at that. Look, I cannot wait to taste this. Now, I did taste a little bit of the sauce, but I did not go for the whole thing. And remember, this brown rice is really not part of the recipe. It's there for aesthetics. I just wanted to look pretty, you know, to just lay it on a plate. But I am surprised. I'm always surprised, especially when I've never made the recipe before, how good it looks. Oh, how good it was smelling when I was making it. Now, one thing you might have noticed about the naan, it's kind of purple. Yeah. When you use psyllium husk, good psyllium husk, sometimes it can look purple, but it doesn't affect the taste. Not at all. Okay. So speaking of taste, I'm going to taste the naan first. Why not? I'll save the best, well, what I assume is the best for last. Let's try this naan. Here we go. Wow, look at that. Wow. That's really good. If I seem surprised, I am. Because generally, I don't like coconut flour. That's really good. Oh, what? Wow. I know. Craig's review. Wow. That is excellent. It tastes fantastic. Does it taste exactly like naan? No, but it has the same texture. It's the same thickness. I really like that. That naan is really good. And now for the pièce de résistance. For the korma. Okay, here we go. Chicken korma. Oh, here we go. Rich, creamy. That chicken is super tender. Garlicky, you can taste the ginger. Wow. Wow. Also, really, really good. I finished the season real strong. This is one of the best overall dishes I have ever done. This is a 10. For a low carb meal, you can't beat this. Remember, ignore the brown rice. Pretend that's cauliflower rice. This is fantastic. I could not think of a better way than to end the season. And with that, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the show this year. I'm going to take a couple months off. We'll be back in the fall with some more wacky fun and delicious recipes, although it's going to be really tough to top this. Until then, I want more. Until then, this is Craig Mitchell saying, be well, eat good. Oh boy. Harvey Korma.